Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. This should be a treat. I have had several West 6 Brewing's beers sent to me before, and they all were pretty tasty. This one was sent to me by Eric. This is West 6 Pay It Forward Cocoa Porter. And let me read the commercial description. This is a 7% beer here, guys. So, commercial description here says, a nice robust porter aged with cocoa nibs. Drink a porter. Pay it forward. Support your community. Thanks for helping us pay it forward. For every 6-pack, West 6 will give a 50-cent donation to organizations doing great work in your community. For more info, go to west6.com. That's a good thing. That's a nice thing for them to do. I mean, there are a lot of different organizations that do really good community work, and every time somebody like this brewer donates money to them, it's a worthy cause. So, thumbs up to them for doing that. The ABV is not listed on the can anywhere, guys. It does have a date on the bottom of it, canned on 10/1 of 2014. I don't know what it is. A lot of these brewers don't want to put the ABV or the dating on the can. That's kind of information we need to know, guys. You need to know what you're drinking. If you go to a bar or a pub and you're drinking this stuff and you don't know what the ABV is, hopefully they'll know when they're pouring. They can tell you, but I'm not really sure if they can tell you or not if it's not written on the can anywhere or on the package. And I think West 6 does just about all their stuff in cans now. I may be mistaken with that. A lot of the craft beer brewers are going to the cans. It's a good deal, guys. I used to be a bottle only kind of guy and didn't like the taste of beer in cans, but the cans have gotten better and they have linings in them, and still sometimes you get a little bit of that metallic taste. Even from the bottles, I've gotten the metallic taste, but usually as it warms up, that metallic taste goes away. And a lot of these beers, like the porters and the stouts, are meant to be drink at more closer to room temperature, between 55 and 70 degrees. So, I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. It doesn't have the IBUs listed here for this beer. The food pairings for this beer, cuisine is barbecue, cheeses, buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss, and since it is a porter, it has a lot of roasted chocolate malt, and this was done with cocoa nibs, so it should have a very good chocolate taste to it, so it goes well with your dessert dishes and your chocolate dishes. Meat is beef, smoked meat, and grilled meat. Glass bars, pint, becker, non-tumbler, mug, stein, and sidel. On these darker beers, guys, I like to use the double glass to enhance the aromas, and it's not recommended for extended cellaring. At 7%, this is going to keep for a little while. I mean, at least a year or two, I would think. So, let's get the cap, pop, top, or whatever you want to call this damn thing on the top of this can opened up and get it into the glass and see what this one's about. Eric sent me this one. Thanks, brother, for sending me this beers. I cannot get West 6 beers here. And like I said, I have had a couple of their beers sent to me, and they were pretty tasty. So, over into the light. I am not getting any light through it at all, not even around the edges. So this is pretty dark, guys. Pretty black. And with that pour, we got about a half a finger of head on there. Very good looking beer in the glass. Let's get a nose on it, see what we got. A lot of roasted malt and chocolate. I'm getting a strong hint of some coffee in there. I mean, the coffee is just as strong as the chocolate in this beer. And I don't think they put any coffee in here. I mean, aged on cocoa nibs, so we're getting a lot of coffee aroma from the roasted malt. And the chocolate is more of a bittersweet baker's chocolate than it is a milk chocolate. Well, it smells pretty damn tasty, so let's give it a taste, see what we got. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Eric. Thank you, brother. Definitely the bittersweet. And I've actually brewed a beer with some cocoa nibs before. And it does lend a bittersweet chocolate to the beer. And that's basically what you're going to get. I mean, if you introduce some lactose into it, it could get a little sweeter. And it doesn't say anything of this about being brewed with any lactose. So it's got a strong, bittersweet chocolate taste to it. I'm getting the coffee and the dark roasted malt. A tad on the bitter side on the back end. And I experienced the same problem when I used cocoa nibs with mine. I don't think I introduced any lactose into the beer to give it a little bit more sweeter taste, because the cocoa nibs do give it that bittersweet chocolate or bitter chocolate taste. But it's pretty good. It's not overly bitter, but it does have a strong bitter back end on it. Very drinkable though. Very, very drinkable. Not getting any alcohol. This one's right out of the fridge at 40 degrees. Let's let it warm up and see if it mellows out any. I'm not getting a metallic taste or anything, so that's a good thing. But it's 40 degrees. It's going to change a little bit as it comes up to room temperature. So let's let it do that, and I'll come back and do the final grade and chug on this one. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little bit left. To me, in my opinion, they could introduce a little bit of lactose to this, to sweeten it up just a little bit, with the cocoa nibs lending the bitter chocolate taste and the roasted malt. It's a little bit too bitter on the back end to me. It's not quite as balanced as I think it could be, but it's still very tasty. Other than that, it's very, very tasty. It's got the date on the bottom of the can. It doesn't have the ABV on the can. I'd like to see that so you'll know how big a beer you're drinking. But very enjoyable. I just think it could be just a tad sweeter to balance out some of the bitterness of the beer. So let's do the final chug. You get the cocoa, you get the coffee. A lot of roasted malt in there. There may be just a slight hint of some dark fruit, but the cocoa and the coffee is what stands out. And like I said, it's a little, not a lot, but a little on the bitter side. So I think they could sweeten that up by putting some lactose in there to balance it out just a little bit, with the bitterness and the sweetness. So other than that, it's a pretty damn enjoyable beer. Guys, I'm going to give this a 7, which is a B+. Don't think it's quite to the A category because of the bitterness, but very enjoyable nonetheless. I don't think this beer is a pricey beer. Eric, you might put some comments in there. I'm not even sure if it comes in a 4-pack or a 6-pack, this particular version. I don't know if he bought the single or how he purchased it, but I think their beers are fairly reasonably priced where they're available. They're not available here. So I did enjoy it. So Eric, thanks again for sending me this and letting me try it. I did enjoy it. It was very nice. B+ for me, guys. So let's go to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 87 in the very good range, and that's about where I would put it. Somewhere between an 87 and an 89 would be where I would rate this beer. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says overall 85, but 77 in the style. So I don't know if some guys are having a problem with the bitterness of it or what's going on there, but I think it's a very nice cocoa porter. It's just a tad on the bitter side with the cocoa nibs. So that's where we're going to leave this one. If you've had it, let me know what your thoughts are on it, and let's go see what's in the fridge some more, guys. See you then.